Birds of Essex, February 2024. I can't believe it's February already, can you?
No, the month has flown by, absolutely flown by. Good evening, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good evening. Good evening. This seems strangely familiar.
What, you and me talking?
Yes. No, saying these exact words.
Yes, because
Hmm.
for those who
Well,
are watching at home,
yes, you may
we
have noticed we're about 3 minutes late starting, and that's because I'm basically an idiot and I hadn't configured the stream properly. So I pressed the button and we started talking, and then we realized we were literally talking to ourselves.
we had 2 minutes of great conversation, telling you what was
You,
going on, everything
oh,
that's happening. No
you,
one was listening.
you wouldn't believe. I mean, some of the stuff we talked about was just spectacular, and now it's all gone. Can't remember any of it. But but no. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another show. I just can't. Yeah, can't believe the year is already in February. We're going to have. Well, it's Easter soon, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And
Easter, and then it's going to be
like you said on the last show,
yeah, summer holidays and Halloween and Guy Fawkes Day and then Christmas. Yay! Do
I'll have to wash my Christmas jumper ready for the Christmas show.
you wash it?
I wash it every 2 years because I like to keep the colours fresh.
Oh, that's very good, mate. Very good.
Good evening.
Anyway, right, shall we start?
Yeah. Good
So
evening for those
who have we got saying hello?
loads of people watching. We've got 45 people watching at the moment, which is really cool.
Fabulous, thank you.
Loads of people. Dave Webb, Steve Hallam, Robin Wildlife, Annette's watching from upstairs. Good evening, Annette.
Hello, Annette.
Colin Undrell, Emma Robinson, Andrew Duckett, Mel Shepherd Wells, Mo Jackson, Brian Priestley, Tim Hayward, Tim Davis is watching from Scotland because he's going to the rugby tomorrow.
Wow. Are
Mike
they?
Day,
Is he getting this live, or are they like half an hour behind? Do you think,
well, they'll
or?
be about 2 days behind now in Scotland.
Oh, okay, all right, sorry.
Sorry. Um, Pete Dwyer, Tony Pickett, Graham Mee, Chris Mee, Stanley Davis, Richard Chew, Liz Huxley. Loads of people
Well,
watching. So good evening.
that's a veritable who's who of Essex birding, isn't it?
Absolutely. So good evening for everyone tonight.
Yeah, good evening. Right, so people can get involved, and as always, if you want to get involved, here's how. There are two ways really. So you can either log in and chat in the chat, which obviously lots of you are doing. Alternatively, you can send us an email to ebwstalks@gmail.com. That's ebwstalks@gmail.com. And I've got the email open somewhere up here, and I'll monitor it and hopefully keep on top of it. But as always, if we do miss anyone's messages on the chat or on the emails or anything like that, obviously we try and get everything. But if we miss anything, apologies.
Yep.
Hmm. And we want people to like us, don't we? And
Do
subscribe,
so. Yep. With the usual. I harp on every month, but yeah,
wherever it is.
give us
Yeah.
a thumbs up on the little thumbs up on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber, and we hope that everyone who's watching is a subscriber, click on the little bell symbol. Subscribe to our channel. You'll get notifications when we're next on, and then one day in the distant future, probably about 30 years time, Matt and I can retire
Oh,
and get paid by YouTube.
that would be good. That sounded a bit like the beginning of Star Wars, didn't it? What was it? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away
Far
or something.
away. Yeah.
Anyway, right.
Well,
Okay, so we're going to talk about some things to hopefully get people chatting in the chat. So first up, has anyone seen any spring migrants yet?
mm,
Hmm.
yeah,
So if you've had sorry, I was going to say if you had a black cat knocking around your garden over the winter, that doesn't count. But what
no.
sort of thing might we be looking for?
Well, I mean, there's been a few reports of things like house martin, swallow, wheatear, little ring plover, gargany. So yeah, has
Hmm.
anyone seen any of those things yet?
Hmm. I mean, I guess it's quite mild because this does seem to be happening early. I know it's only bits and bobs, but it has been so mild, hasn't it? Generally speaking, I know we had a little rain recently, but the temperatures and so on are quite mild, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had a big southerly airflow up from the Canaries and North Africa.
Hmm.
So it's not unusual for this to happen in February, but you know, but
Wait and
there's
see.
always that excitement of seeing your first summer migrant.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, let us know anyone in the chat what you've seen and when it was. Also, fieldfare and red wing numbers versus waxwings. So I put this in here. I didn't actually talk to you about this, Steve. I popped it in the thing earlier on, but
Doesn't matter, mate.
I was talking to a couple of people the other day, and I think you're probably in agreement that the numbers of fieldfares and red wings generally this winter haven't been as high as you might usually expect.
Well,
Particularly red wings. I think there's been a few fieldfares, but red wings have been really thin on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously we've had a massive waxwing influx, and I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, surely if the field, if the waxwings have come over here because maybe a lack of berries in Scandinavia, for example, why aren't there loads and loads of field fares and redwings as well? And I don't know. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't know if anyone's got any theories on that, or maybe you have seen lots of redwings and field fares, and I just haven't. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
mean, there was a big flock of like 300 plus field fair at Abberton for like
mm,
ages, but they've literally stripped the berries, and there were red wings as well. But they've just literally stripped the berries and just gone.
mm, they
But
just seem to be thin.
I haven't seen field fair for quite a while now. Saw a few red
Yeah,
wings yesterday, but
yeah.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, let us
Interesting, because
know.
obviously there's still quite a lot of waxwings. We'll cover that later on, of course. And then the final thing that we're going to ask people to get involved with is to do with this picture. Can you see that?
I can.
Okay, right. So there's a story behind this picture, isn't there? So basically, we're going to talk briefly about the Wallasey field trip that we all had. That was that not this Sunday, it's just gone.
It was
Yeah.
only a few days ago, mate.
Oh, I've got no idea what's going on. So yeah, Sunday just gone. We had a great field trip to Wallasey, and in the afternoon we decided to walk down the seawall, and there was a short-eared owl or two flying around in the distance, and one of them landed on the post, and everyone was getting quite excited, and we were creeping a little bit nearer just to get some pictures and nicer views. And it was at that point that I realized the battery in my camera had gone, and I'd got spare batteries, but I'd left them in the car. So this was kind of I've also got a phone in my pocket, of course, and I've got a phone adapter which I'd left in the car. So there's a pattern here. So this was a handheld phone, which actually came out okay, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty good.
But the question is, has anyone ever left stuff either at home or in the car while you've been out birding and then thought, oh, darn it, I wish I'd brought that with me? So my best one ever, I got to Abberton one day, got the scope out of the car and realized I'd left, sorry, the tripod out of the car and realized I'd left the scope at home. So I stood there with a tripod and no scope, which was quite funny. Have you done anything like that, Steve?
Um, I'd be lying if I said no. Yeah, I remember quite a few years ago, 20 odd years ago, plus maybe, there was a hoopoo in Surrey. And I thought, I'll go and see that. And I've been at Abberton for the day. And I left my binoculars at Abberton in the centre. Drove all the way
Okay.
to Surrey to see this hoopoo. Went to get my bins from the car. It's like, oh no. Then I remembered I had a video camera back in the days of like VHS video camera.
Mhm.
So got the video camera out, switched it on, no tape in it.
No.
No. So basically, I was a complete numpty.
Did you see the hooper though?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? It was the closest view of Hooper I've ever had in Britain. It was like 20 feet away.
No.
Amazing views. I mean, I
Oh.
didn't need camera or bins, but yeah.
You could, if you had the camera or bins, you could have got some better views or a couple of nice pictures. But there we go. Yeah, it
Oh yeah.
happens. So,
So we've all done it, I'm sure. Or maybe it's
mhm.
just you and I. Maybe everyone else is much more sensible than us.
No, I'm expecting loads of stories in the chat. I'm sure people have
Chat,
left things behind.
type it
Yeah,
in.
put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Right. So, what's coming up on the show?
Sorry, I'm
He
just
says
reading
to
the comments
himself.
by people. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Well, what's coming up? We've got the photo competition final, which we're going to run through in a second. We've got some details of a brand new pop-up.
hmm,
Mm.
exciting
Something
news.
we've never done before and may never do again. So stay tuned to find out about that.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about sightings. We're going to be talking about tripods.
Mm.
Mm. So you might want to switch off for that. No, not really. We're going to run. We're going to run through tripods. We had an inquiry recently from one of our members, a tripoding type question, and we thought let's run through a bit about tripods and heads
Yep.
and bits and pieces. We're going to talk about the conference and show you some of the raffle prizes, which we've got the top 3 raffle prizes present tonight. Mm. And we're going to be obviously catching up on the usual events and looking forward to things ahead. So all that usual sort of stuff. But first of all, we've got some best wishes to send, haven't we?
We have.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
So yeah.
oh,
Well, I was going to say, yeah. Best wishes to Richard Chu,
yes.
who's watching tonight.
Yes. So he's recently had a medical procedure and operation and stuff. So I hope you're recovering. I hope you're feeling better. And I hope you get out and about birding and taking your pictures because Richard normally sends us in some lovely photographs each month. And I had an email from him saying he's not been able to this month because he's kind of recovering. So I'll forgive him for not sending in pictures. Although he did then say he had a red kite out the bedroom window. So why he didn't take a picture of the red kite, who knows?
No battery in the camera.
Yeah, maybe he forgot the camera, left it downstairs. That could be
Yeah,
what it is. Yeah, could
reckon.
be. Yeah, no, seriously. Hope you feel better soon, Richard, and hope you get back on your feet again and out birding.
Yeah,
It'd be good to see
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you out and about.
Right.
So
Anything
I've
in the
got
chat?
yeah, got a few bits in the chat. Stanley Davis talking about summer migrants. So Stanley Davis has had Chiff Chaff singing in the garden the last few days. And
Okay.
then Robin Wildlife said no migrants, but plenty of signs of birds gearing up for the breeding season. Herons on nests, nuthatch in a hole. So a lot
Mm,
of stuff getting ready, a lot of stuff singing at the
good.
moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's had plenty of redwings around Epping Forest.
Oh, good. Maybe that's where they all are.
And then Neil
I think
Summers took
I've had one at Ardie this winter. I normally have a few. So
It's weird. Neil Summers said, could it be that the redwing and fieldfare are able to remain in their summering areas because they can feed on the ground on leather jackets?
oh, okay.
And maybe, yeah, I mean,
Could be. Yeah, could be. It's just
it's been a very,
interesting.
it's been a
Oh,
very
hang on.
mild,
Sorry. Sorry about that.
it's okay. It's been a very mild winter, to be honest. So, you
Hmm.
know, um, yeah, I mean, waxwings, I suppose just eat berries, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So maybe
they do eat insects as well, because often you see them in the spring fly catching, but maybe they,
maybe with more of a mixed diet for the fieldfare redwing, maybe some of them have stayed
hmm,
at home and the
yeah,
waxwings have kind of foraged away, possibly.
yeah. So I think that's a good
Um,
call, Neil. Thank you for that.
yeah, it could well be a good explanation.
Kevin O'Connor's watching. He's in Buttermere. What's that Lake District, isn't it? Buttermere, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Um, and then Sean Mulqueen's watching. So good evening, Sean. He
Hi,
said
Sean.
he took his lens out one day, but forgot his camera.
How can you do that? Well, I guess if he's got different lenses.
There you go. So yeah.
Ah, oh my goodness, that would be annoying. Yeah.
Um, yeah, Colin Andrew went to Minsmere for the day and found his left his binoculars at home. But luckily they hire out binoculars, so he was okay.
Okay.
Liz Huxley, there's a Minsmere theme going on here. She went to Minsmere and left her rucksack at home containing a beans and a lunch.
No, no beans you can get away with, but no lunch.
Yeah, I know. But Minsmere, cheese scones.
Hmm. Yeah, suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Hughes just said he's many thanks, guys. He'll be out and about again very soon. Oh, he did get a photograph of the red kite,
Oh, okay. Well, he didn't send it in.
but it was a heavily cropped bottom shot as it flew away.
Okay.
It doesn't actually say bottom shot, but I've just changed the words.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Okay.
And then Mo Jackson, 300 field fares feeding in fields the other day at Sunnymead Farm. So,
Oh, brilliant. Oh, well
um,
done. That's good. Good.
Neil Sumner went to Lower Hollesley Common in early April. He got there at 5:30 a.m. -2. Got his coat. Uh, yeah,
Oh
just went. He
no.
just went out for 20 minutes at a time and then back to his car for 20 minutes to warm up.
Mind you,
So,
I've just thought of another two I've done. I was taking amazing pictures of water rail in Ipswich. Zoomed right in with the bridge camera, filling the whole screen, and you hardly ever see them out in the open. Got back to the car, went to check them, and I realised I'd left the memory card at home. And talking about leaving your coat behind, do you remember Carlton Marshes for the American bittern?
I do. I do.
That was
I hadn't known you very long then, and
no.
we bumped into each other. And my God, that day was freezing cold.
Well, because it had been seen every 20 minutes, stupidly, I left my coat and my lunch and my drink in the car,
Literally,
went for a stroll. I thought I'm going to see it in 20 minutes. I'll be back in the car in a minute.
you know what? I did exactly the same.
How long were we there?
I
Six
remember
hours,
standing
7 hours?
7 hours. I stood there, and then I remember coming out of Carlton Marshes, and there was a petrol station, and I literally went straight into the petrol station and just bought food, just like
Yeah.
sandwiches and crisps and
My fingers had gone like a weird blue color by the end. It was so cold, but we did see it, so it was worth it in the end.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Right. Okay. Keep them coming because I think they're quite funny. I like them. Um, right. Yeah. So photo competition. That's what we're doing, isn't it?
we are photographic
It'll be quick,
competition.
otherwise it'll have finished. So if you go onto the EBS website, which I'm just about to show you, as always, here we go. So front screen, and the very front of the front screen has got these two pictures on. And if you click on the right-hand one where it says vote now, and these are the finalists. And I think the final, I can't remember how long it's got to go. Might be about half an hour or so, something like that.
Yeah, it's either 8 o'clock or half 8. I think is that.
Yeah. So if you click the button here, it then goes through to a page with all the pictures on. So we've got a ringed teal, or is it two ringed teal? Such a good reflection. It might be two. Don't know. Then we've got long-tailed tit and a Dartford warbler and a red kite and a buzzard. Really, really close together, actually. That's quite unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
So
nice.
those are the four pictures. And if you want to vote, I won't click on it, but if you click here where it's in blue, it goes through to another screen where you can then choose your favorite and vote at the bottom. Now, apologies that the whole system is a bit convoluted, but we don't have any way of sort of staging voting directly on our website. So we use a third-party voting thing. And then to make it much easier for me to organize it, I've got one front page and I just change the back pages. So that's why it's a bit of a process. But yeah, if you can bear with us, it's good fun. Lots of people have voted, lots of people have taken part. And thanks to everyone, as always, of course. Have you voted?
I have. I voted
Well
a
done.
couple of days ago.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah. No, a fantastic quality of entries this month or this season. So yeah, you haven't got long to vote. So please get as Matt said, get on the website, vote now.
Yeah. If you haven't already done so, just click on it. It takes about a minute. That's all. Doesn't take long. Right.
A few more comments in. We've got people talking tonight, Matt, which is really good.
Oh, good.
Tim Haywood said he was about to take a cracking picture of a kingfisher when
Yep.
his battery died on the camera and he'd forgotten his spare. He said his 10-year-old daughter was very shocked when she heard her daddy say a very bad swear word.
Daddy said a bad word. That's not good. That's never good, is it?
I can't imagine Tim saying a bad word, but there you go.
Well,
Stanley Davis was at Westleton Heath. He had a perfect view of a woodlark, got his camera out, and as soon as he took the picture, the camera died and the picture didn't save.
no.
Yeah, I think the battery camera thing is.
To be fair, well, thank you everyone, because you made me feel much better that I'm not the only one that does that sort of thing. So yeah, it is frustrating though when it happens. But there you go. These things are sent to test us, aren't they?
Yeah. Liz Huxley said there were 80 field fairs at Shutterheath Wood this morning.
Oh, good.
And
okay.
Steve Hallam said that he's still in shock that the photograph of the sparrowhawk flying towards the camera went out in the first round of the voting. That's the public vote, that is. He said he was sure it was a winner. So, yep, the public speak. So, yeah.
Right. Well, so talking about the photos, and I should have lined this up. Hang on a minute. Where are we? Here we go. There were some kind of interesting, I picked out three interesting pictures from the ones that we were sent, which we'll just run through quickly. One of them I don't think even featured in the competition at all. In fact, I don't even think you sent this, Steve, because it was taken up at Lanark Loch in Scotland.
Oh.
This is by Gary Kerr, and when I first saw this picture, I love it. I think
that's a winner.
Yeah, the lighting, the mist, I thought that's going to win, and then I saw it was taken in Scotland, and we've got to try and be. I mean, I do trust people that they are taking things in Essex, and I randomly try and geolocate a few if it lets me. But yeah, I mean, Gary was very honest that it was taken in Scotland, and unfortunately, we couldn't put it in because it's an Essex competition. But I just wanted to show the picture because it's beautiful.
Oh, I love that. That looks so good framed.
Really nice. So that's that one. Thank you, Gary. Then there was this one, which was also weirdly from Gary Kerr, and I think this did this make it into the quarterfinals? I think
it did. Yeah, I like that.
I just thought it was unusual because it's a backlit picture. We don't often get backlit pictures through. Most of the pictures show the birds clearly. This one obviously doesn't, but we all know what it is. And not only that, it's munching down its breakfast, lunch, supper at the same time. So that's quite good fun. Quite like that.
Like that.
And then the last one was good friend Jan Lewis who sent this in, and this one was actually taken at Wallasey, and he said he watched I think he watched the hen harrier. It was dusk, so it was really quite dark, and he'd been watching the hen harrier, which is the bird on top here. You can just about make out a rumpy thing,
Yeah.
um, and that had been flying around, and then out of nowhere, a short-eared owl popped up and started mobbing it. So even though it was almost dark, he managed to get a couple of record shots of this happening, and I just thought that's quite unusual, and quite a nice record to have. So yes.
No, sorry, just quickly. Graham Lee's just said, can you show the pictures full screen because they're only coming out very small.
Oh, apologies, I did that last month, didn't I? Right, let's go through them again quickly. Hold
Sorry,
on.
mate. Sorry.
So that's the swan, mute swan in the mist. That's the kingfisher eating lunch. I've got the bird species, so Steve's going to do the fish species.
It's a roach.
Okay.
Mate, I have no idea.
No, stick with that. That was really convincing. I like that. And that's the hen harrier and short-eared owl.
Yeah, that's nice.
There you go. Apologies. Remind me later on it. I'll try and remember to make them all full screen. Sorry.
It's nice. I mean, when we obviously get the photo entries, it's just nice to see. I know, I like frame filling pictures, but it's just nice to see something a little bit different.
Exactly. And like the sort of trail camera ones last time round, I think it was.
Yeah.
So if we get any different ones in, we'll show a couple of them just to show,
Yeah.
we're getting some different stuff in. So it's good. Right, what's next?
What's next? Well, usual stuff. I'm just going to grab my pile of
Oh yeah. Hang on.
the usual stuff. Obviously, we're now into what we are mid-February, mid to late February. So if you haven't renewed your membership, please do so. We hope that you all have. And for those who aren't a member that are watching tonight, please consider joining. It's great value. I mean, we do this every month, but I mean, I was talking to someone the other day about what good value the magazine is. The membership is even. Yeah,
It is
that's
good.
value, that is. Yeah, it's £16 for a membership, where we were saying about like the RSPB and other organisations that, you can give it to like 60, 70 quid,
Mm.
Well,
the thing is, we said it before, but if you bought all these separately, it comes to over £20. So
yeah,
you've
exactly.
genuinely got your value for money is here without doing anything else. And there's so much more to do. We've got the field trips and coach trips and all sorts.
£22 worth of publications.
We've got the fixture card there. You got your fixture card?
Oh, that's a good point.
I've lost mine. I don't know where mine is.
I did have it, but
That's all right.
Anyway, you get a fixture card as well.
Yeah, and that'll be in the next issue of Essex Birding in the summer.
Yep.
We'll have all the fixtures for next year. And I think the next bird report, I know Neil's watching, but it's due out quite soon, I think, sort of springtime-ish. So yeah, that'll be coming out soon, the 2022 one. For those that don't know, the Birding Journal is kind of full of stuff that we contribute, all the members, and Jerry writes loads of reports and so on. There's lots of nice pictures in there as well, and information about the talks and the things we've done. And then the bird report is basically a record of all the birds that have been seen with lots of data, graphs, and some pictures as well. And then at the back, there's lots of information and various reports, aren't there? There's always different articles written at the back of the bird report. So yeah, really fascinating, really interesting every time they come through.
And obviously, we have merchandise as well.
We do,
including notepads, lovely EBS notepads.
And we have umbrellas and hats and T-shirts and sweatshirts and things which I've got downstairs in the garage, and I forgot to bring them up.
It's fine, but they're all,
you know what they look like.
All the stuff's on our website. So if you just go on ebws.org.uk, and there's pictures of the sweatshirts, T-shirts, colours. It's all there.
Exactly. So yeah, basically, I'll show you very quickly on the screen, which saves me wiggling them around like I normally do. So that's the sweatshirt. It's got some new colours on the sweatshirt. It's got navy, dove, kingfisher, and hazel, and they're all really nice. T-shirts. There's a blue, graphite, olive, flame, and I've got a new natural colour which I haven't even put on there yet. It's like a kind of a creamy, light cream colour. Looks really smart. Nice. And then that's the other bit. It's got umbrellas and the notebook, as Steve said, a cap with our logo on, and a shopping bag, and you can even buy a pin badge. Or these signs, which are behind Well, I've got mine there still.
Yep, I haven't.
We've
I
got
don't,
two left,
I've
two
got a
left of those, so they're very limited. Yes. Oh, thanks, Steve. You got the shopping bag on.
got
Hold
a
out.
shopping bag. There you go.
Hey, excellent. That's just a bit of fun. It's nice to have the society on your merchandise and items when you're walking around. Your notebooks are really good. So yes, if you want anything, send us an email, info.ebws@gmail.com. So it's info.ebws@gmail.com.
And Dave Austin's just messaged in on the chat saying Essex Birding is an excellent publication, really impressed. So thanks, Dave. That's much appreciated. Um, a lot of hard work goes into all these publications by the big team that put it together. So they'll love to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Neil Sumner does a brilliant job as the editor. Mick Tracy obviously processes all the records, and all the people, the sub-editors, that all edit their sections.
Yep.
And then, of course, Greg Hope is the editor of the Essex Birding Journal as well, and he does a fantastic job doing that. So, yeah, well done, everyone, and yeah, it's appreciated. We've been
We've
doing
had a
some stuff, haven't we?
busy month, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah. What have we been up to?
Lots going on. We've had quite a few events, EWS events this month.
Hmm.
So where we started, we back in, was it January or February?
It was right at the end of January. I think it was the 28th of Jan.
28th of
Sunday the
January.
28th.
It was just after the last show, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
So we had a winter birding day at Fingering Hoe Wick, Essex Wildlife Trust Reserve. We had a cracking day. So many people came out. I mean, it was just brilliant. This is just some of the people on our first walk of the day. So Matt and I were leading a walk, and Mark Nowers from the RSPB joined us and was our other co-leader for the day, and he did a cracking job. I don't know, he
There's
must
Mark.
be there.
There's Mark just there. Look, I don't know if you
He's at
can
the
see
back.
pointer.
He's hiding.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a fantastic day. The weather was really good. It was just cracking, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, I think the group in the afternoon, we had more people in the afternoon than the morning, to be fair.
Yeah.
And for those that know her, I even managed to drag Tina along. Look.
Yeah.
And she had a really great day too. She really enjoyed it and saw some different birds and met some new people and enjoyed a cup of coffee and a bit of cake at the centre. So yeah, all good, all good.
Yeah, and thanks for the Essex Wildlife Trust at Fingering Hoe, the centre team, for looking after us. And we'll be back there later in the year.
Yes, yes, we will. Yeah, no, they do a cracking job there. And just a couple of bird pictures while we're there. We had some nice views of, there was this one particular avocet was walking around really close to the Margaret Hide, wasn't it?
Yep, yeah, really good view. We had some great views of waders.
And yeah, grey plover. There was a few grey plovers there. I can't remember what the last photo is. Oh, there you go. That was the end of the day. Do you remember the sunset?
Yeah, I know. Your
Oh,
picture is much better than mine.
that was a lovely picture. Sorry, a lovely sunset, and it was, yeah, just outside the centre with the trees and everything, and the sky was beautiful. So yeah,
And we had
a really good day that was.
We had great views of Merlin, didn't we, as well?
Yes. Did you get a picture of that?
No, I did, but it's just record.
It was a long way away, wasn't it? But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Merlin was a new bird for some of the people on the trip.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see, and it was a young male bird, I think.
Yeah, and although it was quite distant, the light was cracking on it, really good.
Yeah, get a scope on it. It looked amazing. And we've also what did we do after that? Oh, we did the pop-up.
We did a pop-up, our first pop-up of 2024.
Yes. And where was that, Steve? He says, trying to get
we went down to Wat Tyler Country Park, and once again the South Essex Ringing Group that hosted us. So Dave Wilkinson and his team of April Main. There's Frank Street, Max Helicar there in the blue, and George sitting there in the black. And they looked after us so well. And well, here's Max showing people how about ringing.
Yeah. These are limited number events, this one, because obviously with birds being ringed, you can't have 40 or 50 people stood around. So we limit it to kind of a dozen or so people. But they're so good. I mean, they really go into lots of detail about what they're doing, why they're doing it. And then you get to see some nice birds in the hand as well before they're released, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and you bought some biscuits, which was very good. And April, who's one of the ringers, she made banana bread, which was amazing.
I was going to say that was probably the highlight of the day. Well, not probably, that was the highlight of the day actually for me. It was amazing, that banana bread. But Also, special thanks to George because he provided some Kit Kats at the end of the day as
He
well.
did.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we were definitely well fed, weren't we?
Yeah.
But birds in the hand. Now, this I think it's the first time I've seen a goldcrest in the hand,
Okay.
and it's just tiny. I know it sounds obvious because they are tiny, but when you see someone holding one, you really see how small they are.
Yeah.
Gorgeous little things. And then, well, what's this one?
It's a Chetty's warbler.
Mm. And that
And
was
I think we had, did we have a couple of those?
they had a couple. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think Chetties are doing quite well down there.
they are. And I'd never seen Chetty's warbler in the hand before. So that was excellent.
No, and then the final picture that I took because they didn't hold all the birds up for pictures, by the way, just to add, it was only a few of them. Some of the birds were released quite quickly. It depends on the species, really. But these two, I just thought that made a really lovely image. The greenfinch and goldfinch
Yeah.
next to each other, and you can see how much bigger the greenfinch is, can't you?
Oh, it's a big bruiser. Look at and on the bill. Look how long the bill is on the goldfinch in comparison with the
Yeah,
greenfinch.
yeah. So yeah, fascinating, and that was a really good, again, another really good event.
Yeah, and I say we hope again we're doing something with them again in the future. Um, Maybe at one of their other ringing sites in South Essex. So yeah, so watch this space. And if you want to join any of these events, then join the MailChimp mailing list.
Yes,
It's the only way you will hear about our pop-up events.
yeah.
Um,
So that's down the bottom of the homepage, I think, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, right. So if you go on our website, which hopefully Matt's queuing up just as we speak,
Fingers
um,
crossed.
then really right at the bottom in the blue band, there's a little form to fill in. Very simple. Um,
Can you see that?
Yep, perfect.
There you go,
Yep,
just
got
down
the blue
there.
band. Yep.
So
And
just
yeah,
pop your email address in. You don't have to put your first name or last name if you don't want to. Put the email address in, hit subscribe. And as Steve said, that's the only way we're letting people know about the pop-up events now because everything else just takes so much time. And we've got nearly 900 people on this list now, which is great. So thank you for everyone that has joined. If you haven't joined and you want to take part in the pop-ups, as Steve said, please just put your details in and we will notify you. And you also find out about this and field trips and indoor talks and everything. And talking about indoor talks, we had one this month, didn't we?
yeah, it was some dodgy bloke, wasn't there?
It was a great talk. What was your talk about?
It was about Scotland, the wildlife of the Highlands and Islands. So yeah, amazing turnout. I mean, it was packed. It was
Mm,
so no, I really appreciated all those people coming out to see me stand there and waffle on for a couple of hours. But no, it was great. Really enjoyed doing it.
it was good. How many pictures did you have?
Oh, only 210.
Is that all?
Yeah, yeah,
To be fair though, it flowed really, really well. And what I loved about it, and I think I'm not the only one, is that was the first time for ages that I knew what all the birds were.
yeah.
Because most of the talks, a lot of the talks are from places around the world, which is amazing to see all these incredible birds. But I don't know what many of them are. So your talk was super, and I knew the birds as well. So yeah, it's great.
Hey, excellent, excellent.
But I've still got to get to Scotland. So yeah, shocker. I've never birded in Scotland. I've never actually been to Scotland. So that is something I've got to do at some point.
You need to rectify that, mate.
I do. Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Next time you
So
go up there, you might have a very big extra suitcase which moves
smuggled in.
occasionally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ta-da!
Oh my God, it's back though.
Yeah. You'll be sending a label on it and posting me back.
Return to Essex, please.
So yeah, that was good.
And then last week, was it last weekend? Last
Oh,
Sunday,
yes,
we had our February field trip, which was a non-coach trip. So it was a self-drive trip down to Wallasey Wetlands,
it
um,
was.
down in the south of Essex. And to be fair, well, as you probably all noticed, the forecast this week hasn't been the best. The forecast on Sunday was diabolical. Heavy rain overnight. Would it clear? Would it not clear?
I mean, we were saying on the way down, we'd be lucky if we got 10 people. And to be fair, when we got there was kind of, well, one, two, three, four, five, six. Hang on, you count them. There you go.
Well, it got up to about 45 people.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
incredible.
so you and I were leading. So our field trip organizer and chair, Jerry Johnson, was away. He's on holiday, lucky devil.
Mhm.
So everyone had to put up with Matt and I. which so thanks for that who came along. But yeah, there were 45 people, maybe more.
Yeah.
And this is just one shot. We were watching spoonbills here, but we had a really good day. And you can see the weather, lots of puddles, but we
Well,
didn't get
there's
wet at all
yeah, a little bit of blue sky up there. And to be fair, it rained.
at
The only
lunchtime.
time it rained was at lunchtime, wasn't it?
Yep, we were back at the cars having a spot of lunch, and we had a bit of a heavy shower, but we all scuttled under cover,
Mm,
and yeah, and we had some really good birds.
mm. And if anyone's watching who's never been on one of our field trips, we do two types. We do the coach trips that are booked up in advance, but we do the self-drive, which you can just turn up. The destinations in Essex, and you don't. I mean, obviously, it's great and brilliant if you stick with the group, but you don't have to. You can turn up. We can say hi. We can set off, and then if you want to go your own route, you can. There's a really good mixture of people. You've got people of all experience levels as well. So there are beginners and there are intermediates and there are experts like Steve. And certainly Steve and myself and anyone else who's leading or more senior will always put you onto birds and let you look through their scopes. It's just a really friendly day out, and everyone that comes along is always lovely. So you'll be more than welcome if you haven't done it and you're not sure. Come along and try it. They're really good fun.
It's good, and thanks to Tim Davis who joined us on Sunday. It's his local patch, Wallasey, and so he gave us quite a few pointers and stuff as well.
Mm.
And also on the ITV Anglia News tonight, there was Wallasey on the TV tonight.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they had their highest. I think the RSPB have had it for about 13 years. It said, and their last wildfowl count, they had 38,000 birds.
Wow.
And then before the RSPB had it, the wildfowl count had 1,000 birds. So
That's incredible.
just goes to show how well the site's developed. And
I mean, to be honest with you, there I can't think of many, if any, sites that are in such a relatively short period of time have developed so much. It's such an amazing story, honestly.
great, wasn't it? I mean, we'd only walked like 10 meters from the car park, and we had 3 hen harriers. There was shorted owl.
Yep, there's loads of skylarks. They're corn bunting on the way out, and yeah, I mean, it's just a super place, lots of habitat, and it changes obviously as with any site. It changes through the year as well, so there's never a bad time to go to Wallasey. There's always a good time, but winter particularly good with the shorted owl and the hen harrier. So yeah, and I think that's kind of about it really on what's been happening. But it's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a busy month. You know.
Yes, and we have got stuff coming up, haven't we?
We have. I'm trying to know what we've got coming up. We've got
there's an indoor meeting on Friday the 1st, I think.
Yeah, which is week. It's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, week today. Oh my
week
goodness.
today. You know, I'm just thinking. You know, literally, you're right. The month has flown by. I'm thinking, hold a minute. It's
yeah, 1 week's time. So there we are. Got the Wildlife of Copt Hall with Peter Warren. This again is on our website. And Peter contacted us today. Actually, I can't read this through my camera, but he'll be talking about conservation initiatives both at Copt Hall and in liaison with the teams within Effingham Forest. He's also going to be talking about a new educational display for visitors as well, covering signs of global warming, farming practices, and invasive species in our garden, as well as the regeneration of the forest and how it's impacted by fungi, slime molds, and deer. So that's going to be quite interesting, I think.
That sounds really good. Yep.
Yeah.
All being well, I'll be there for that. Be good.
That'd be good. Excellent. When are you off to Costa?
The 7th of March. So
excellent. That'll be good.
Got a few more weeks yet. We've got plenty of stuff to do. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent.
There's a few, just a couple of. Go on, quickly. So just back to Essex Bird Report. Neil says it's coming along and should be distributed late March, early April. There's some really good articles in this year. 2 of them about Danbury and migration are results of terrific field work and research. So that's really good.
Brilliant. Look forward to reading that. Right.
Oh, and there's also, while we're there, then while you're just doing that, Richard Chew said, is there going to be a big county bird watch this year? Well, of course there is.
In fact,
how could we not have a big county bird watch? I mean,
well, yes.
It's
I
like
can't remember
folklore.
when is it?
I think it's September.
Hang on.
I've
There's
got it
something
written
things
down
happening.
somewhere.
Hold on.
I've got it
Lee County
on a bit of paper,
Birdwatch.
probably behind the computer.
I've got October on the website here. So it's
Okay,
on our
okay.
website. It says BCBW returns in October 2024. Full details will be published in due course.
Oh, there you go, Richard. So
So
October. I was a month out.
what that basically means is when we've worked out what on earth's going on, we'll let you know. um, and we've got well, next month on Birds of Essex, we're going to
Yeah,
hope we're not going to tell you any more than this, but we're hopefully going to have um, a special guest, maybe even multiple special guests. And if we do have a special guest, that may well be linked to a pop-up event in April.
yep,
Hmm.
absolutely. So
All a bit
don't
cryptic,
forget,
but
don't forget to tune in, subscribe, fill in the MailChimp,
yep.
because that's the way you will know about these things.
Otherwise, you won't find out, and we'll be talking about it, and you'll never have known. And talking about pop-ups, we have got one coming up on the 3rd
Sunday the
of March.
3rd.
Yeah, it's possibly weather dependent, this one, but it's going to be like a kind of a basic guide to how to take pictures of birds. So basic beginner's guide to bird photography, really.
Yep,
And it's going to be limited numbers, and
yep,
probably only 10 people,
yep, yep,
just quite a small group, so we can kind of, keep it so that everyone is involved.
yep.
And well, what's the idea, Steve?
Well, basically, so many people have got cameras nowadays, and a lot of people just stick it on auto, which is all right. But we're going to explain, ISO, aperture, shutter speeds, aperture priority, manual, everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we're going to do it. So we're going to do it in Chelmsford. I think the plan is
Yeah, in what's the park
Central
called in the
Park.
middle? Central
Is
Park.
it Central Park? Yeah. So there's parking nearby, and there's going to be birds, whether it be just pigeons, black-headed gulls, ducks, doesn't matter. There's plenty of subjects to choose from. And yeah, so if you're into photography but don't really know the ins and outs, then it could be a couple of hours maybe of just
Yeah,
gentle, nice, easy tuition.
yeah, and I mean, I'm certainly nowhere near an expert, but the little bit of knowledge that I've managed to get over the last few years, happy to share and try and explain. And as Steve said, there's going to be like gulls, mallards, coot, moorhen, squirrels. There's a big fountain in the middle if it's on,
Yep.
which we can use to take pictures of water at different shutter speeds and
Shutter
show you how that
speeds.
works. So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
all good fun. So if you are interested in that and want to know a little bit more about how to use your camera, subscribe to our mailing list, and then you'll receive an email about that over the next week or so. Hmm.
Yep. That'd be good. We're looking forward to that. And
Yeah,
yeah, it'd just be something a bit different. That'd be
yeah, definitely. And it won't really be a bird watching event, although there will be some birds there. But it's really going to be about the photography. If we get more than 10 people want to come along, then we'll just draw names from a hat. Okay.
and also we'll make sure that everyone charges their batteries up before they come.
Yes. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
actually brings their batteries or brings their lens or brings
Yeah.
their
Thanks, mate. Yeah. Great.
tripod or
You can stop now. Thanks. Obviously, if the weather's going to be poor, then we might not do it. We'll
actually
have to postpone it.
that's a battery charger.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Anyway, moving on. We're going to be talking about the conference.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
March the 23rd.
Third. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So March 23rd at Writtle University College. We've got a conference coming up. It's Birds and Birding Past, Present and Future is the subject. And if I hopefully open up this screen, there we go. Because I've updated this today, actually. Here we go. You probably haven't seen this, Steve.
Cool.
So tickets on sale. So the conference hall holds, I think, 200 people, but we're limiting numbers to 150 purely because there's going to be 10 exhibitor stands outside as well.
Yep.
Now we're already on with the speakers and exhibitors as well, because everyone's going to be there, of course. We're already on over 120. So there's not that many tickets left. So if you do want to come along, please let us know. And this is on our website. If you go to the top, hover over events, go down to the bottom here to 2024 conference, and then you can see details of the conference, the poster that Steve superbly designed. We've got a list of the talks, as you can see on here. So the idea is kind of past, present, future. So the changing nature of recording and studying birds, for example. Birds Live in Concert is going to be talking about how we use sound to record and identify and help understand birds. Captivated by Wildlife, I think Roy's going to be talking about how his journey has gone through his life, past, present, future, in terms of his engagement with wildlife and how that's led his career. Britain's Bird Life, what the future might hold. That's going to be really interesting. I think Malcolm Osden from the RSPB. And then we've got Matt Phelps from Sussex Wildlife Trust, Avian Reintroduction, Past, Present and Future. And then finally, we've got Mike Allibone from Birdwatching magazine. And he's going to be talking about essential birding gear from evolution to revolution, which is going to be things like binoculars and scopes and cameras and bits and bobs. So that's going to be good. Exhibitors. I don't know if you want to run through the exhibitors, Steve.
Yeah, so we've got a great selection of exhibitors. So we've got Viking Optical, who are our sponsor of the conference this year. Swallow Birding and Wildlife. Annette and I will be there selling some of our day trips and holidays and lots of other things that we're doing. The RSPB will be there as well, which I think that might be turtle doves.
Yes, that's Mark Nowers. Yeah.
Yep, so that's Mark.
Yep.
So come along and to have a chat to Mark. He's an excellent guy. All things RSPB and turtle doves. Limosa Holidays are there, again, selling their holidays. Liz Huxley will be there with her photography. Speyside Wildlife. So a few holiday companies to choose from, but to be fair, you know where to shop local, don't you? So plug. Neotropical Bird Club. So I think that would be Chris Bolchin.
Yes, Chris and Mike from Swallowtail as well. Mike Dawson.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
So Neotropical Bird Club, excellent charity. So they'll have a stand. Essex Libraries as well.
Yes.
So that would be great to have him. Richard Allen Art. I mean, again, Essex-based artist, fabulous artist. So he'll have his prints and paintings, and then we'll have our stand there, the Essex Birdwatching Society.
So it's going to be packed.
So if you're not a member, you can come along. There'll be merchandise for sale. So yeah, lots going on.
Definitely. And so on the day, registration is from 8 a.m. And the first talk I think starts at 9:20. There's going to be coffee and a pastry to greet us, and then we're going to be stopping for a buffet lunch in the middle, and then the day will finish after all those fabulous talks with a wonderful raffle. And you can see the prizes on here. I won't read through them all, but they're all on the website, and there's also more details on here about how to get in touch for tickets. So it's info.ebws@gmail.com. Tickets are just £25 per person. And when you bear in mind the top raffle prize, which we've got, in fact, let's do the raffle prizes. Hang on, let me get rid of this screen.
There, mate.
Right. Yep. So we have the top raffle prize, which is in my hand right now. Yeah. Beautiful. I'm going to kind of undo the box, actually. I probably shouldn't do this, but there you go. A wonderful, lovely pair of Viking Osprey binoculars, 8x42. And these retail through at £499. And I've looked through a pair of these actually previously, and they are very, very nice. They're very crisp and sharp, and they've got a lovely field of view. So that's the main prize. Second prize, won't undo these ones, but it's another pair of bins from Viking. So thank you so much to Viking for sponsoring the conference and providing the prizes. These are the Kestrel 8x42, so they're kind of more of a mid-range. The Osprey is their top of the range binocular, but the Kestrel ED is a mid-range bin. And then the third prize I'm looking at right now. It's Steve. You get to take Steve home for a whole week. He'll wash your car. He'll do your dish. No, what are you offering, Steve?
No, I'll wash your car. That's fine. I draw a line at the dishes. So yeah, but no. So it's a day out for two people with me for birding. We can bird in Essex. We can bird in Suffolk, wherever you fancy going. So yeah, for a whole day.
Fabulous. And there's another pair. There's a pair of Celestron binoculars. There's loads of other stuff. So have a look at the website. If you want to come, please come. But you don't have to come to the conference to buy the raffle tickets. So we've got raffle tickets. If you want raffle tickets, send us an email, let us know, and we'll let you know how you can do that.
They're £1 each, £5 a book.
Yep, absolutely. So yes, all the money as well goes obviously to the Essex Birdwatching Society, and it will be put to good use. We've obviously done projects recently at the Ironworks Nature Reserve down in Malden. And we've got another couple of projects in the pipeline, which we're going to be putting money into as well. So,
Yep.
and incidentally, talking about putting money into things, we've actually donated £200 recently to the South Essex Ringing Group,
Yep.
David Wilkinson, to pay for all of their equipment. So they're very happy with that as well.
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you, everyone. Right.
What we got? So Tim Haywood said, "Will our photography include digiscoping?" Um, we
Can do, yeah.
could
I'll bring
do.
my adapter along.
We could do. I mean, I think perhaps main
More
photography-
cameras, really, because the problem is with the phone, you haven't, some phones you can, but most phones you wouldn't really go into the sort of aperture and shutter speeds and so on. So it's more about the triangle, ISO, aperture, and shutter speed, and then exposure compensation, that kind of thing. So it's really more cameras, but it can be a bridge camera, it could be a SLR, it could be a mirrorless.
Yep.
So yes.
Yep. Richard Chu says he's looking forward to his first conference. Sounds like a great day. Yeah, I mean
Yes.
it is a great day. I think I've done all 6, I think, and it's just they're cracking. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give my second, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I just think the subject matter as well is going to be fascinating. It really is.
Yeah.
Right. We had a new feature last night, didn't we? Ebbs Bay.
Yeah, Ebbs Bay.
And
You've heard of eBay?
Okay.
You've heard
Sorry?
of eBay? Ebbs Bay.
This month we've only got one. Hang on. One thing on here. We're not going to make this like a mega big thing. But the idea basically is if anyone's got anything they want to kind of sell through and get rid of, or give away, or whatever, just let us know, and we may be able to share it on the show. So this month we've got Kevin O'Connor. He's got this, and you can see it's brand new, Swarovski BP30 backpack, which is the 30-litre backpack. It's in the Swarovski green color, proudly displaying the logo and so forth. Nicely padded at the back and breathable. It's got the chest fastening here. Actually, those straps look really good, don't they?
It's a Duta rucksack, so it's their Quest quality stuff, that is.
Yeah, that's proper good.
Yeah.
And obviously inside you've got that's I presume your camera lens or scope can go in here. And I think it looks like on here there's places to actually attach your scope to as well on the outside. What happens with it? Because I looked at a picture, you can pop your scope through here, I think, and there's a strap you can tie across to hold it.
Well, your tripod as well. You can strap the tripod.
Sorry, tripod. That's what I meant. Sorry, tripod.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Apologies. So these retail normally around about 180 to 200 pounds, and he's looking for 120 pounds or close to. So yeah, it's brand new. It's a good deal. If anyone's interested, just email us info.ebws@gmail.com and we can put you in touch. Done. Right.
Excellent.
And segueing beautifully from a backpack that can carry a tripod
to
tripods.
Tripod. Hey.
So we're not going to this isn't going to be too boring, I hope. But we're going to really quickly run through tripods and tripod heads and stuff. So you've got 2 main types of material they can be made from. So first of all, for those that don't know, and there might be 1 or 2 people out there, the tripod is kind of apart from my hand down. And then as Steve's showing there, that the head is kind of that bit on top, which basically allows you to move and rotate your scope or camera and pan it up and down and so on and so forth. So you need both. Now, so you can buy them as a kit, or sometimes you can just buy the legs and choose a different head. A lot of people do that. There are 2 main types of material for the tripod, aren't there?
Yep. So there's aluminium and carbon fiber.
Yep. So I think yours is carbon, isn't it?
Mine's carbon. Yep.
Yeah. Mine's carbon as well. We'll go into that shortly, the differences between them. But on the tripod legs, there's also 2 ways that you can open the legs. So you've got a twist lock, which is what Steve's using there. And literally, you just twist it to lock it and untwist it and so forth. Or mine's a flick lock, which you simply flick it open and then you can pull the leg and then keep it closed. And you can get a 3-section or 4-section. So yours is 4-section, isn't it?
Mine's a 4-section. Yep.
Yeah. So that just means, I don't know if you undo them quickly.
Oh, great.
Okay. So you've got 4 different parts that make up the tripod.
4.
Mine's a 3-section, so 1, 2, 3. Difference being that when you fold them up, a 3 section is going to be longer than a 4 section. So for travel and putting it in your boot, stowing it away in small spaces,
Yep.
4 section is definitely a better option. The 3 sections advantage is that because there are less sections, it can be a little bit more stable, but there's not a great deal in it. It's more the compactness of a 4 versus a 3.
Yep.
In terms of aluminium, so carbon fiber versus aluminium, carbon fiber is lighter and it's a very strong material. So it's going to give you a nice sort of rigid base to kind of use to have your camera or scope on top. Aluminium is a bit heavier, but it's cheaper to buy.
Yep.
And sometimes, if it's particularly windy, having a slightly heavier tripod can actually be an advantage if you don't mind carrying it around.
Yep.
So a good quality aluminium tripod can often be a little bit more steady in the wind than a carbon fiber.
Yep.
And some people actually put weights on their carbon fiber to make it a bit heavier in the wind. The head, you've got kind of a standard head, or you can get fluid heads. These are, well, I think they market these as fluid, don't they? These ones.
Oh, fluid. Yeah, they are fluid. Yeah, they're just nice, soft, easy, nice, gentle. So if you're maybe if you're sea watching, the panning is just lovely and smooth. Or doing video.
Yep. And what you can do, on this particular one, you can adjust the tension. I think you can on most fluid heads.
Yep.
So
Yep.
these have got like a just little dial that you can rotate to make it stiffer or looser if you wish.
Yep, you
But some of the fluid heads have got more sophisticated methods of setting the fluidity and also balancing the head as well. So if you've got a really big camera lens that's heavy, you can actually have a plate on top that you can shift forwards and backwards to counterbalance so that the camera stays still and doesn't tip forwards or backwards, which is quite good. How do you put your scope on the tripod, Steve?
Well, I mean, we've both got the same heads. We've got a Manfrotto 128 heads. So if you have a Swarovski scope, and a lot of them you have like a plate that you put into the sorry, hand that out of my way. You put a plate on top of the tripod head, but if you've got a Swarovski scope, the foot actually fits into these heads. So really good. Although my new Swarovski scope had a plate, but yeah, very simple. But yeah, a little quick release plate.
Well, my one does fit in the head, but because I use my left eye, I swing everything round.
Of course,
The handle's set up for right-hand use, so I've pulled my handle out and put it in the other side, so I can use my left eye, which means I've had to put an adapter plate on. So this is on a lens, but that's an adapter plate.
Yeah.
Little grey bit on top here, and that just simply clicks into the tripod head, locks in place, and then you're good to go. So you've got tripod legs, tripod head, and an adapter so you can put your equipment on, whether it be a camera or a scope.
Yep.
You've got the carbon versus aluminium, and you've got the 3 legs versus the 4 leg solution, which is good. But you've got something a bit different, haven't you?
So I haven't tried this out yet, but I have got this new monopod with feet.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's again twist grip, so it's lovely green color as well. But yeah, so it's what's this? That's a 5-section.
Yeah, that's mad.
Oh, 5-section.
So what are you going to be using that for?
I'm going to actually try this for photography. I might actually, because I've got a travel scope, I might be able to get away with using this as a tripod if it's not too windy.
So I mean, obviously, sorry, go on.
So it comes with feet for stability. Yeah. So I haven't tried this out. This only came a few days ago. So watch this space.
And I presume you need to put a head on the top of that, or can it screw straight in?
Yeah, I can either put a head on it or just put my my lens plate screw straight into
straight on and have it rigid. So I mean, obviously back to basics. So the main reason that you have a tripod is to give you stability when you're either looking through your scope or when you're taking photographs with your camera. And they can vary dramatically. So they go from sort of entry level right the way through. I would always suggest, as with most equipment, if you set a budget and try and get the best you can for the budget, whether you want to buy a new or pre-owned, there's lots of pre-owned tripods on the market. We're not going to name names or brands or anything, but some are better than others. And one thing it's really useful to do is to take your equipment along to a retailer that has tripods on show, so you can actually click it in, make sure it works, make sure you're happy with how it feels, and test it out and see how stable it is. Because I was talking to somebody a while ago who just bought themselves a nice new scope, and they were saying they were a little bit disappointed because the image was really shaky, and they had it on a much more basic and older tripod. So changing the tripod and the head to something that's better quality will give you a much better image. It really will.
And of
Um,
course, I mean, of course, Viking Optical will be at the Bird conference, so
yep,
they'll bring some tripods as well.
definitely. And they're doing deals for us as well. They're guaranteed the best price out there, and they give you a discount if you say you're a member. So that's all good. Now, my scope, I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but it's got a center column on it. Hold on. Which you can raise up. So if you want to have it higher, you can have it higher. You can even then flip it and rotate it. So if you're in an awkward position, you want to have this tripod over here, but your scope over here to look over a bush or a fence or something, you can do that. And then the other thing, which this is the part, oh, there you go, it worked. You can take the center column out, and this is the same with a lot of tripods.
Yep.
And then you can get this little chappy, which I've had for a while. And this is what's called a hide clamp. So when you're in a bird hide, you can pop this onto the shelf, do the little clamp up underneath to hold it steady, and then the center column will go into here, and then you can use this as like a mini tripod on the shelf, basically. So that works really well. So hide clamps are good. And then the final thing is, how do you carry your tripod around, Steve?
Well, I do. Well, unfortunately, I can't afford a Sherpa to carry it, so I use it's pretty much like a rucksack strap. There's lots of companies that do these, but this is one from Scopac.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just straps. It's got a mesh back. Some of these come with bags where you can put your lunch in, and a bit like Matt's got there.
Yeah.
But I like just having the mesh because sometimes if it's windy, by having the bag on the scope or the tripod, acts a bit like a sail.
Mm.
Whereas if it's mesh, the wind tends to blow through. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great way. And then you can just scope on your back, tripod on your back, hands free for using your binoculars and stuff.
Yeah. And also, if you're going to be doing a lot of walking before you get to your destination where you're going
Yeah.
to be looking or taking pictures, it's
I
good
mean,
to be able
obviously
to
you
do
can
it.
carry it, carry it on your shoulder, but
Yeah.
then you're a bit restricted with, you've got to sort
Yeah.
of do that, and it's a bit
Well,
tricky.
that's the thing. I mean, I do, for those that have seen me out and about, I do carry mine on my shoulder. And I've put, this is just pipe lagging. People have asked me about this loads of time, but I just bought some pipe insulation from a DIY store and a bit of duct tape and a cable to tie as well. So it's nice and tight so it doesn't move around too much. And it just cushions it on your shoulder so it doesn't dig in. And it also stops it from slipping as well, because these are quite slippy otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice way to hold it. And you can hold it with the legs in or legs out. But with the legs out, you just got to make sure you don't whack people with it, which I nearly did on Sunday. So
Yeah, and some people carry their scope they sort of carry it upside down like that with the legs out.
oh,
And
really?
yeah, yeah. So some
Ah,
people
wow.
do, and then you
Okay.
have to be a bit careful because if you've got your legs up in the air, then you wave around. It's a bit dangerous. But I
I'm
have
gonna
seen,
cut that bit after the show. If you've got your legs up in your head, they wave around.
and they're dangerous.
Fantastic. So there you go. That's a little bit about tripods. Some of the differences, some of the things to look for. I mean, ultimately, as with any equipment, if you can get a chance to go along and have a play with things, you can decide whether you prefer the flick lock or the twist grip,
Yeah.
whether you want 3 sections or 4, depending on where you're going to be putting it. Weight of aluminium versus carbon and stability. Just try everything, set your budget, and away you go. But hopefully that might have helped one or two people out there.
Stanley Davis has just messaged in, said that he has a Viking optical tripod and the customer services was incredible after he damaged it. So
Good.
there you go.
Yeah.
So thanks, Stanley.
Yeah, I mean they had a good selection up there, didn't they? Actually, we went up there on
Yeah.
Thursday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We had a boys' day out up there on Wednesday, and
Mm.
actually they had some good tripods. There was a lovely one we tried out, wasn't there?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean they had their own that 4 section one that swiveled round and went really, really small.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it turned into a monopod as well, and it was pretty reasonable. It was like 85 quid, I think, with a
yeah,
head. It
yeah.
probably only just for a smaller scope. But yeah, really decent, really
It was
decent.
really good. Very
Mm.
impressed with that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, in the chat, what do people use? Do people use carbon? Do people use aluminium? Do you use your tripod mainly for your scope, mainly for your camera, or a bit of both? How do you carry your tripod? Let's do some tripod talk for a few minutes if you want to. Any feedback?
No, I think we're up to date, mate. I think we're up to date.
Cool.
I'm just double
Blimey.
checking.
Okay.
No, we're all up to date, I believe.
Right. So now we know what's next, don't we?
We do. So, I'm just looking at the run sheet.
That,
So
that was almost seamless.
almost, yeah.
So, well, do you want to, while I'm queuing it up, do you want to give it a bit of an intro?
Well, hopefully it's the next thing on the list. So I don't want to make this. I embarrass myself. So as you all, so if regular viewers of the show, we often, well, we not often, we always, John Ward always very, very kindly puts together a video which we nicknamed John's Mindful Moment from like a couple of years ago, and I know so many people love John's videos. I mean, we're out birding and we bump into lots of people, and they don't mention Matt and I, they just mention John. To be honest, so
Definitely. They're always so good. So he's kindly, I mean, I know time was very short this month because these must take ages to put together. He always kind of brushes it off and said, "Oh no, they're not too bad," but they must take ages. So he sent us in one. It's just under 3 minutes long. Going to play it now. Um, I keep trying to get John on the show just to introduce him to everyone, but he said the other day that he doesn't want people to find out the identity of Johnsy, which I think is a bit like it's a Banksy reference, isn't it?
oh, Banksy,
I think it's a
Johnsy.
great idea. So maybe we'll keep it as a mystery, Johnsy. So there are people that know him, but for those that don't, this is a video by Johnsy.
Can I
Are you
just
ready?
say though, if he was Spanish, it'd be Hawanzi.
Oh my goodness. On that note, I'm going to mute my camera and microphone, I think.
Me
Right, can you
too.
see a blank screen there?
Yes, yeah, blank screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mute the mics, mute the camera. We'll be back in 3 minutes, folks.
Okay. See you in a minute, everybody.
Oh, that was nice.
Brilliant, wasn't it?
They're really good. I love the fade from the berries to the
Ah,
teal and green shank. That was
green shank.
yeah, that was cracking. And the shoveler.
Ah,
Um, and you got the world's grumpiest curly you stuck in the mud.
yeah, it's like I know the way the Avocet just walks in just from the. I was just
Yeah, and the Dunlin, a Dunlin feeding in slow motion looks so
ah,
different.
yeah,
Yeah, really good. So thank you so much.
fabulous, fabulous. He
Mm,
does it again every time. Like you think, you know,
yep.
what's he going to do next time? And he does it brilliantly.
Well, I was speaking to someone the other day, and they said the quality of his videos, they're just so good.
They're as
You
good
know?
as people. I mean, they're as good. He ought to send some stuff to Winter Watch, Spring
Yeah,
Watch.
yeah, I agree. He really should.
You know,
Right, gonna have a break. And then we'll be back in a bit. Second half, we're gonna go through the photo competition final. We'll cover a few of our pictures where we've been, what we've seen, and we've got some of your pictures you sent in and the sightings as well. So not too much to cover in the second half. We'll be back in a bit. Let me just find the right video.
which video we got tonight?
Well, we were going to go. Oh, hang on a minute. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, please don't tell me I've lost it. That'd be funny.
Let's carry on then.
In here, hang on. Ah, right. So we've got, let's go with this one. We haven't had this one for a little while. I've got to do a new one of these. I really have when I get the time. Right, you ready?
Yeah, go on then. We'll see everyone
Back
in
in a
the
jiffy.
back in a jiffy. See you in a minute,
Very,
everybody.
very, very apt actually with the old spring migration just around the corner. Right, see you in a few minutes.
See you in a few minutes. We're back.
We're back. We're back. We're back. We're refreshed. I've got my
I'm
water.
surprised we've got any viewers after my onesie joke. I thought that was a
That was
One of
In
my
fact,
best, actually.
I cannot think of an adjective to describe that joke.
Not
It was amazing.
thanks, mate.
Yeah.
You are so kind.
Right. Okay. So we're going to have a quick look at some web pages, aren't we?
Yeah, just quickly. Can we just quickly
Oh,
just Mo Jackson said that she just back to tripods because we asked about what people were using.
oh yes.
So she's got a carbon fiber tripod and she uses a scopac to carry her
Oh,
scope.
yeah. I just
And
think they're quite handy, aren't they?
they are. They're very
Mm,
just good. They just say just hands free and
yeah,
yeah, really, really versatile.
definitely. Anything else in the chat?
And that's it. Sorry, just
Oh,
want to get that one in while we before we went on to something else.
excellent. Thanks, Mo. Right. So, web pages, just very quickly, if you haven't done this for a couple of months, just sort of three or four little web pages that people might find interesting. So, the first one, there's a new reserve coming in Suffolk. Now, I didn't know about this. Have you read about this before or not?
Well, I saw it advertised this week on
Okay.
Facebook. I think I saw it.
Hmm. So it's this reserve here, Warlingham Marshes. It's fairly close to sort of Alton Marshes, Colton Marshes, up near Lowestoft, that kind of area. 381 acres of land, support of a grant from the National Lottery Heritage Fund of nearly £2 million. And it kind of looks like they're trying to create a corridor of land through here to give wildlife, a linked area really,
Yeah,
which is, yeah, great idea. So a place to go and have a look at in the future, maybe.
looks really good. That does.
Hmm, yeah,
Looks good
we
for
could have
like,
a kind of a double field trip maybe at some point in the
yeah.
future.
Hopefully they'll get some visitor facilities there because obviously that's
Yeah.
quite important for when we visit reserves that
Well,
there's some sort of
you could even drop into this one in the morning for 2 or 3 hours and then go across to Carlton for a couple of hours
yeah,
in the afternoon.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Right. That's
interesting to
that.
see. Be
Yeah,
interesting to see what happens in the next few years.
definitely. This one I thought was quite interesting. So sandwich terns, they've been tracking sandwich terns and they've noticed that they avoid entering offshore wind farms altogether. So I know the subject of wind farms has come up previously in terms of, are they dangerous for birds? What effect do they have on birds? Well, they now know that sandwich terns are avoiding them. But weirdly, I think if they space the turbines further apart, then the birds will kind of go through the wind farm area. So, um, first of all, I thought that's not a good thing because they might get hit by the blades. But I guess it's even worse if the farms are stopping them from coming anywhere near altogether because it could change routes, migration routes, breeding habitats, all that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah, absolutely. I'll have to have a read of that one. That looks really good.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. Then this one made me laugh. The world's oldest known bird is breeding again at the age of 73.
Wow. 73? No.
Yeah, I don't know how, is it Laysan or Lysan albatross? I don't know what the
They saying,
Laysan
yeah.
albatross. Called Wisdom. I presume, well, I don't know which one of these two it is. I presume it's this one.
It
Has
says,
returned.
it says that this outlived the person that ringed her.
Oh, bless. She was ringed in 1956 when she was already an adult. And yeah, she's the person that ringed her. And she's breeding. She's courting an unringed male. Oh, bless.
So she's at least 73.
73, yeah. Yeah, that is
Makes a
her
bit.
Z33333. Um, wow. That is incredible. 73 years old.
Oh, that is amazing. Do you know
Well,
what? Birds and wildlife just never cease to amaze.
incredible. I mean, I don't know if I'll even make 73, but if I do, I'm definitely not gonna be having children when I'm 73 years old. I'll tell you that much. And then the final one, I haven't checked this. I hope it's the right screen. Yeah. So this is an Essex Wildlife Trust email that I received actually, and it goes. You can link through to this screen here, and this is something called Spring Pickers. And Tina and I are going to do this, and it runs from the 9th of March to the 18th of March. I mean, obviously, you can actually do this at any time, but I think the idea is that you need to pick up at least 5 pieces of rubbish per day. That's all you got to do. And then won't go through it, but you can sign up, and then there's a map, and you can plot where you pick the rubbish up, and so on and so forth. So I think it's just a good idea. There's a wall planner as well. You can write how many bits of rubbish you picked up that day. So if you go for a walk, Anytime really, but particularly during these times, you can take part in this. You can tell EWT what you picked up. I just think it's a good idea.
We do. I mean, I know there's lots of people. I know people that are watching tonight. A lot of people take part in community litter picking events, but this is great. I mean,
Hmm.
because I mean, litter's not great, is it? I mean, it's a danger to wildlife. It just looks blooming awful.
Yeah,
If we just all do a little something, make it a little bit better.
yeah, definitely. I mean, just I've driving down one section of road the other day while we were talking about it. I said to Tina, "Look, this is going to be really easy. One, two, three, four. Wherever you drive, there's litter, isn't there?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if all of us pick up 5 pieces a day, think of that. That would make a huge
yeah.
difference."
Really, really good. Yeah.
Good. Right. Shall we do
Um,
the photo competition results?
you can do it quickly. Just catch up on the chat stuff, just very, very
Oh,
briefly.
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
That Whirlingham Marshes was featured on BBC Look East Reserve. So Pete Dwyer just says,
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
and yeah, Robin Wildlife said, yeah, go Wisdom. He said that's pretty impressive for 73 years. And Jan Lewis has just tuned in. He said he's imbued, so they'll have to catch it on playback. Hope it's worth it. So
Always. Thanks, Jan. That's
yeah,
brilliant.
it's always worth it. You
Of
know,
course it is.
this is what you pay
I'll
your license fee for. Oh,
yes.
yeah, actually, you don't for this. So no
Thanks,
expense
thanks,
spared.
Jan. And I hope the sun is shining imbued. Fingers crossed. Right.
Excellent. So yeah, photographic competition. Sorry.
Okay. So let's do these in reverse order, shall we?
Okay. Drum roll.
Okay. Right.
In
Here we go.
oh,
So in fourth place, and bear in mind this was out of, I think we had about 70 odd entries this time. So it was again a good number of entries. So in fourth place, as voted for by the public, is
oh, Buzzard
Red.
and Red Kite by Mike
Yeah,
Davis.
absolutely.
That's a great comparison shot. That is.
It, you know what? It really is. You know, the wingspan, the size of the bird, the length of the tail, everything about it is yeah, it's a really nice picture. I like that.
Wing
Very good.
shape, just everything. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Well done. Well done, Mike.
Well done. Thank you very much, Mike. Really, really cracking photo. In third place, we have
Oh, the Dartford Warbler by
hmm,
Mike O'Hanlon.
another Mike. This is the final of the Mikes, I think. So this, do you reckon this was the bird that was down at the Naze or Holland?
I assume it's a Naze one.
Hmm.
Well, is
Uh,
it not? Yeah, I assume it's a Naze. I mean, if Mike's watching tonight, let us know. But yeah, I assume it is Matt.
Yeah, and they're not the easiest of birds to kind of capture pictures of, really. And this one's obviously sitting up very nicely, isn't it? On a bit of gorse, is that?
Yes, gorse. Yeah, bit gorse and
Yeah,
flower there. Yeah, lovely.
lovely, lovely. So really nice shot. Thanks for that, Mike. And then in second place, we have a ringed teal by Robin Pettit. Now, I think this is a lovely bird, a lovely photo. I'll be honest with you, when it came through, I wasn't actually sure what it was because he didn't name it, so I had to look it up. Um, Obviously, it's not a native British wild bird, of course. It's an escape bird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been around for quite a few years, I think, up
Yeah.
in sort of Epping Forest way.
But it is kind of living in the wild. So we sort of let this one slip through because I think if you're not going to let this through, you then think, well, where do we go with this? Do you exclude
Yeah,
black swans and ruddy shell ducks and also it's just a bit of fun, this competition, isn't it?
yeah, and
So
ringneck parakeets as well. I mean, they're not native, but yeah, where do you draw a line? We can.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, but lovely colours on that.
it's a cracking bird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real smart
It
duck. That is.
it kind of looks like people have someone's taken a few bits from lots of different ducks and just chucked them all together.
Yeah,
Mad looking bird, beautiful. Which means, of course, our winner is we're back to the mics. This is Mike Clark, with this lovely little picture of a long-tailed tit.
yeah, beautiful soft light on that. Maybe early morning, late evening. Yeah, late evening, early morning. Just lovely.
Mm, lovely blurred background as well. The bird's really nicely isolated. There's nothing behind it. He's got that on a very wide aperture. So yeah, cracking
Yeah,
shot.
congratulations, Mike. Well
Yep,
done, and well done for everyone who entered. Yeah, fabulous class of photography this season.
definitely. And we'll be getting a printed copy of that photograph framed and certificate, and we'll get it to Mike somehow. I'll be in touch in due course. So that's fabulous. Thank you very
And
much.
we'll see the rest of it. We'll see the rest of it. So just keep on watching, because at the end of the show there'll be all the entries that were sent in. So keep on watching.
Yeah, I have remembered. I have done the video. You made me think. Have I done the video? Yeah, I have done it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. So yeah.
If not, there won't. There you go. Right. Anyway.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good luck. So where have you been, Steve?
Matt,
Oh.
Full screen picture.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Goodness. I'm so sorry. Let's do it again. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, Mel Shepherd Wells has just messaged
Sorry. Hold on. It's because I'm doing other things in the background. I have to minimize stuff. Right. Hold on. I'll run through them very quickly once more.
Sorry, guys and girls.
So I've got the red kite and buzzard.
Yep.
The Dartford warbler.
Yep.
The ringtail.
Yep. Cool.
Finally, the long-tailed tit.
Yeah. Brilliant.
There we go.
Yeah,
All
thanks,
right.
mate. Thanks, mate.
No problem. Sorry, on my screen, I can't tell whether it's going out full screen or not, and because there's so much other stuff going on the screen. So apologies. You'll have to forgive me if I keep doing that. Or next time you see me, just hit me, and maybe I'll remember the time after. Please don't hit me. Right. So where have you been, Steve?
Where have I been? Yeah, it's been busy month. Busy month for me. Been doing lots of day trips. So for those who don't know, I do lots of holidays, birdwatching holidays, but I also do lots of day trips around Essex and Suffolk and slightly further afield, Sussex and places like that. So yeah, let me line up some pickies. Hopefully they're full screen for everyone.
That looks good to me.
So yeah, started the month down at Bradwell, which is obviously home of the Bradwell Bird Observatory. So I had a day trip down to Bradwell, where Bradwell's always really, really good for corn buntings. So we had excellent views of singing corn buntings, and for once the weather was really nice. So yeah, we had this particular bird, and we saw this is from the ringing day, which we saw a bit earlier. So Chetty's warbler, and again, I've never seen these in the hand before, so that was really, really cool. You obviously hear these birds a lot, and if you're lucky, you get some good views. But to see one inches away was phenomenal. Really, really, really good. So that was from our ringing day, and then on the way back from the ringing day, some lesser scaup were found at Abberton, which are still there today. So if you've not seen the lesser scaup at Abberton, go and have a look.
Why do you got that picture on the screen? Because that's actually a really appropriate picture. Lesser scaup versus greater scaup. Kind of what are you looking for from distance?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to judge the size, but lesser scaups are sort of smaller bird, and the head shape. Lesser scaup have got this very sort of almost triangular. They've got like a peaked head, whereas greater scaup tends to be a very rounded head.
And certainly near the tufty, they're kind of almost a little bit smaller than a tufty. Certainly no bigger than a tufty.
They are, and the female. There's a couple of female lesser scaup at Abberton at the moment. They've got a tiny bit of white at the base of the bill, just a small sort of half moon shaped piece of white. Whereas greater scaup tends to have a lot of white, big blaze of white at the base of the bill. But these birds have been showing really well off a billet screen. So yeah, if you haven't been down to see these, it's well worth a visit. So you and I, we saw these on the way back from our ringing demonstration.
Yes,
which was nice. And I think what else was there? There was something else there that day as well, wasn't there? Was there not? No, maybe not. Oh, we saw a little owl. We saw a little owl.
That's it. We did in the log pile. Yes. Yes.
So little owl, and then I did one of my guided walks down at Mersey.
That's a nice picture.
We were watching this sparrowhawk flying along the salt marsh, and it twisted and turned, and obviously it flushed two snipe.
Yep.
So although I've got the sparrowhawk in focus, the snipe isn't, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, this sparrowhawk chased the snipe for like 30 seconds, and then the snipe got away.
Wow.
So that was a nice bit of behaviour.
Definitely.
And we saw this sparrowhawk quite a few times during the day. So I was obviously out and about hunting. And also we saw lots of other nice birds at Mersey, including
Hey,
these snow buntings. So there were 6 snow buntings down at Stone Point, which I think they may well have gone now, but or they haven't been reported for a while. But if anyone knows whether they're still there or not, please let us know in the chat. So yeah, nice views of snow bunting on Mersey, and we saw red squirrel and marsh harriers and other birds of prey.
that's a lovely picture, by the way. That snow bunting,
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's just nice. They're lovely birds. The light was gorgeous,
Mm,
and it was against the sort of muddy background, so you got a nice sort of blurred background,
mm.
um, which obviously we'll teach you all about on the photographic pop-up day,
Oh, exactly.
how
Yes,
to achieve blurred backgrounds and stuff like that.
yes.
And then headed down to Somerset a couple of weeks ago for a weekend or 4 day tour, and this is probably the rarest bird around down in Somerset at the moment. This is a Drake Baikal teal.
Hmm.
So they breed well out into Asia. They're turning up a bit more regularly in Britain. So absolutely lovely bird. Got these lovely sort of feathers and face markings. Bit of a nightmare to find amongst 5,000 ducks, but we got there in the end. Um,
Almost looks like one of the Widgeoners put its Alice Cooper paint on. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Or kiss.
Yeah, or Kiss. Yeah,
Yes,
Kiss. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, really pleased to see that. So everyone was happy with that. And then also there were some searle buntings in Somerset,
Very nice.
which they're not a common bird in North Somerset. I mean, you
Hmm.
expect to go and see them in Devon and Cornwall, but there were sort of 3 or 4 birds in North Devon up near Bridgewater.
Hmm.
So this is a nice male searle bunting
Yep.
that was just feeding on the grass right in front of us. Really close views. The light wasn't great, but yeah, enjoyed some really nice views of this male searle bunting. But we were down in the Somerset levels to see the starling murmuration. That was our main um, target, main
Great.
thing we were trying to look for.
Yep.
So just a couple of little pictures here of some of the starlings. So this is an RSPB ham wall, and there's literally the sky is just
Mm.
full of starlings. I mean, we had a rough guess that maybe there was like 1 million starlings. I
Good.
mean, I wouldn't want to even start counting these.
Wow,
Um,
that is incredible.
I mean, I assume that
That's just a part of the flock. I take it
that is
because it's
just
through the
a
screen.
zoomed in part of the flock. I mean, it
Yep.
goes 3 or 4 times left and right of this picture. So yeah, so yeah, amazing views of starlings.
Oh,
But also while we were down there,
oh,
stacks of cattle egrets.
huh.
Now
That's where they've all gone.
that's where they've all gone. They're all down
Yeah.
in. They've all just down in Somerset. So
Okay.
we counted 128. I think I counted in this flock. But apparently it's been up to 400. So
I wonder. It would be interesting to know if any of the birds that are bred at Aberton are kind of there.
yeah, one day maybe birds will be colour ringed, and then we'll be able to track
Mm.
where they go.
Mm.
But yeah, phenomenal. I mean, we just drove around. There was this cattle field, as you'd expect, and
Yeah.
just full of cattle egrets.
Good grief.
And then back closer to home, had a walk. Did a guided trip around Tollsbury Wick,
Yep.
and not so nice birds, but the wildfowl were brilliant. And this is just a little flock of Eurasian teal just flying past.
Beautiful.
Um,
Look at the wing markings because they flap so quickly. You don't often get to see the beautiful markings on their wings, do you?
no, and again, it doesn't have to be always about the rare stuff. Some of the common birds, you know, are very sort of photogenic, and if you get the light right and everything right, you can get some lovely shots. So,
Mm.
so yeah, some Eurasian teal, and then this is a shot from yesterday. So as you probably let's live on another planet. The weather's been shocking.
Mhm.
So I did a day trip down to Pulborough Brooks, RSPB reserve in Sussex yesterday, and let's just say the weather wasn't brilliant. But from the hides, we had this is with a crop shot, but nice water pipit.
Mhm.
So we saw this one, and we saw another bird that was almost in summer plumage.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, real grey and pinky looking one,
Oh.
which was quite advanced for February.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that's me. So, but
Perfect.
as I said earlier, obviously we do day trips and holidays. We're going to be at the conference, so if you fancy coming along on one of our day trips or tours, come and have a chat with Annette and I, or give us an email. That'd be great to see you all along.
Yes, swallow birding and wildlife. There we go. Right. Hold on. I need to now exit full screen. That's that. So yeah, I mean, I've got just a few pictures as well, just bits and bobs really. Nowhere quite as exotic as Steve's been, but I've stayed local. Beginning of the month, went down to Holland Haven, and there were six purple sandpiper, including this one that was basically just trying to get a bit of kip.
That's nice. I like that.
You can get so close to them, can't you? It's
The
crazy.
the fringing on the feathers are just beautiful.
Yeah, it's stunning. And this bird was probably, I don't know, maybe 10 meters, not even that, 7 or 8 meters away, just happily sleeping away. Really, really lovely. Also, while I was there was a very nice rock pipit,
Oh, that's
which
lovely.
again was feeding quite close. And then at Wat Tyler, after the ringing, we went for a bit of a bird walk, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We had a wander around the park after a cup of tea, which was very welcome. Yeah, we
Yep.
had phenomenal views of this male marsh area.
Yeah, I mean, some of you might have recognised this from the advertising that we done for the show, but I thought I'd show it again. It's just a really lovely bird just hovering over the reed bed there. Just a
That's beautiful.
gorgeous
Love
male.
it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then cattaway on my webs count. Obviously, I didn't count this on my webs count because that's for wetland birds, but this kestrel flew overhead in the sun and just spread its tail like they do, just soaring around, not flapping its wings, just like a mini buzzard or something. I don't know. So I just thought the light came through really nicely.
Yeah, nice.
Slightly raggedy tail and probably needs a bit of a molt, I expect, but nice bird. And then Ardley Reservoir, grey wagtails. I've got a couple of grey wagtails there at the moment, and they're always pretty when you see
Oh,
them.
yeah, they're lovely, aren't they? The colours so subtle.
Yeah, and just the yellow vent, the bright yellow vent on a grey wag, and their tail's so long, so they have that sort of beautiful boundy flight, haven't they? And they're little
Yeah.
cool as well. Yeah.
Actually, I had grey wagtail in the middle of Colchester this morning.
Oh, lovely. That's good. Oh, well done. And then great white egrets still down there on and off. This one was really nice and close off the Lodge Lane Causeway, just having a bit of a feed. And then went to Abberton on the 15th and picked out this second cycle Caspian gull. That's like a second winter Caspian gull. Yeah, really nice.
That's a nice one.
Sloped head, the dark eye, the sort of pale bill with just a little band at the end there, and the tertials are still very, very dark on this bird, whereas the rest of the wing has started to molt. So yeah, that's good.
Nice.
And then I got a picture of the lesser scaup three of them.
Scaup.
Yeah, that's
female.
Yeah, yep. Female you were saying about. So
yep. Oh, nice, like that.
White blob. And then finally, just to show that I did get a digiscoped picture of the owl with its eyes open on Sunday.
At least your phone didn't die.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. And then they got a nice picture of a red kite, really, solitary. You don't always have to take pictures of birds really close up.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's all about the atmosphere or habitat or something.
Yeah, it's like bird in its own environment kind of thing. And I just think that's quite nice, really. I'd, stick that on the wall maybe one day. I don't know.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
And then we went to Minsmere. We had a boys' day out, didn't we? So
we did.
You, me, Mark Nowers, and John Ward. Sorry, John Z.
John Z or Juan Z.
Juan Z. Yeah, he had his disguise on, so obviously we didn't know who he was. And we went up to Minsmere and got a few year ticks actually. So the Hooper swans were nice. There's 12 of them there.
Yeah, that was
I like the second one, just like looking over the top of its wing, pretending to be asleep.
That's lovely.
And then we got some nice views of snipe as well, didn't we? Common snipe.
Indeed.
In front of the hide.
And they were quite hard to see, weren't they? They were quite tricky.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, obviously this is taken on a camera and it's cropped slightly as well. So if you can imagine this zoomed out, that their plumage is so cryptic. So unless they move, sometimes you can really, you can really struggle to see them, unless you've got.
Oh, it's beyond me, mate. It's beyond me.
Hang on, got one more picture.
We do it afterwards. Carry on. Yeah, carry on.
It's right. Misty Walls yesterday, just a flock of avocet flying around. Just thought it was quite a nice picture. Just the underwing of them with the black and white. And similarly, some dunlin.
That's nice.
Flock of dunlin flying past. And a turnstone coming into land.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
There we go. Right, so stop that. Yes, so How do you find snipe, Steve?
You use one of these, mate.
Ah, what's that, Steve?
The thermal camera.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, we used this on Wednesday, wasn't it? Yeah,
Mm,
and we're like, it was again, the weather was atrocious. We had a scan with our bins. There wasn't a lot, a few marsh harriers, and then we put this on, and there were like 6 snipe that we
yep.
just couldn't, just
You
couldn't
can't
see.
see him.
You just wouldn't have seen it without the thermal camera, you know. So
Steve was
yeah,
going, there's 3 snipe over there. And I said, I'm stood there looking, looking. Mark's looking, John. No, can't see him. Well, he said, they're
no,
definitely there.
yeah,
Can't see him. Then he said, have a look through here. And it's like, wow, just
yeah,
these 3 blobs. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So we'll be using this a bit more, and we may be using this on some events for the society and stuff. So
Yeah.
yes,
But actually, if people are still watching, I don't know if they are, but very quickly, Viking Optical didn't get around to organising it for this winter, but they very kindly said they might be able to organise a Zeiss thermal imaging evening at some point. So probably have to wait until later this year, but we want to get some idea of if people are interested. So I know it's only a small sort of snapshot watching tonight, and I will send out a MailChimp later in the year. But if you think you might be interested in coming to an evening where you walk around with a couple of people from Zeiss and get to try the gear out,
yep.
and Viking said they'll put coffee and biscuits and stuff on as well. Let us know. Just put something in the chat just to get an idea if people might be interested. Because if we can get, 10 or 15 people together, we'll make it happen. Right, viewers, pictures, less feedback. Any feedback while I queue them up?
No, David C has just tuned in. So good evening, David. And
Hi,
that
David.
is, yeah, and there's just a few comments about the photographs. Excellent photographs. That was the nays, the Dartford Warbler.
Oh, good. Okay, excellent. I wanted to say hi to Leslie Garsington as well because I think she's going to be watching tonight, and she was in the car the other day. So yeah, hi Leslie. Right, these should be hopefully full screen. Fingers crossed. So this was sent in by Catherine Studd, who said that she's got a winter lodger in an S box, and it's a blue tit, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, looks like a
yeah,
blue tit.
yeah.
But it's kind of all huddled up, and it's all fluffed
Oh,
up. Got its head tucked in somewhere around here, I guess.
it needs a little pillow and a duvet
I
in there.
know, bless it. So it's obviously found this really. I think she said this was during the really cold weather that we had a while ago. And she noticed on her little Nest Box camera that this blue tit was coming in and roosting there every night. So that's lovely, I think. Oh. Then Graham Mee sent this in, and I know it's not a bird picture, but he's called this picture after a hard day's owl watching on Wallasey.
That's amazing clouds.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
really good
that's
picture. I
quite
like
stormy
that.
looking.
Excuse me. And then we've got pictures from Ian Dale, and these were taken in Littlebury. So we've got a couple of red kites having a bit of a battle or jousting session. They do that sort of rolling display, don't they?
Yeah, that's cracking. Well done,
Lovely
Ian.
shots. Also from Ian, gorgeous barn owl on a post. And then doing a very close flyby. Look at that. Look at the hair on the front of its, all the
Oh,
feathers
look
in
at
front of its
that.
face.
That is so
Stunning.
pin sharp. Lovely lighting on that as well.
Yeah, coming through the wings. Gorgeous. Also from Ian, this is a cracking little series. So a couple of cock pheasants having a good old ding dong. I
Oh,
mean, look at that picture.
oh.
And then this is the next picture. Don't worry, it doesn't end in bloodshed or anything. It's just a series of 3 or 4 pictures. But
Oh, these are award winning, aren't they?
oh, I mean they're proper going for it, aren't they? These two pheasants.
Oh, amazing.
And then he's got a rather splendid shot of a grey wagtail, bit more colourful than my one at Ardley. This is yellow all the way through. Actually, look at that. That's
Yeah, it's nice male. It looks like a male. Really
yeah.
sort of get in there.
Getting into breeding plumage. They have this really dark black bib, don't they, in full breeding plumage. So yeah, stunning bird. And then we've got Ivor Kerslake sent in from Eastbrook End Country Park near Dagenham. He sent this picture of a couple of great crested grebes doing the courtship. I've seen this a couple of times recently. Actually, they're starting to do that, aren't they?
They are. Yeah. I saw that a couple of days ago.
Lovely. Thank you, Ivor. And then Robin Pettit finally has sent in the female companion to the ring teal at Connaught Waters. And she's lovely as well, isn't she?
Yeah, it's very sweet and very subtle, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I mean,
think she's
obviously
very, very gorgeous.
they've escaped from a collection or been dumped or something.
Yeah, bless. But
But yeah,
she's a
it's still
lovely
nice to
bird.
see though.
Bit like a kind of reminiscent of a female mandarin almost. Not quite, obviously, but almost. It's that kind of
No,
colour
similar,
scheme,
isn't it?
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So once again, thank you very much indeed, everyone who sent these pictures in. Much appreciated, and always fun to look at.
absolutely.
Um, so yeah, just making sure I haven't missed anything in the messages. I don't think so. So um, Robin did say that he knows the ringtail is rated as a category C, so not regarded as having a self-sustaining population. Um, Maybe milder winters have started to change that, so maybe they will breed. Who knows? I mean, if there's a pair there,
Yep, yep,
might have
absolutely.
little tealings later on in the spring.
Tealings, I like that. That's
Tealings,
very
yeah,
good.
tealings. So yeah, that's all good. Thank you very much. Right, what's next?
Just a couple of people, Colin Undred and Richard Chu. Yeah, they're quite interesting, a thermal imaging thing.
Good.
So
Okay.
watch this space for later in
Excellent.
the
Yeah, we'll try and make
later in
something
the
happen
year.
later in the year.
Yeah, cool. Sightings. So we're almost there. Do you know what, Matt? We might better get it under 2 hours tonight.
Let's go. Right. Okay.
Right, and that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Well, I really hope that mine's working actually, because hang on a minute. Go on, you do yours first because I don't know if I've got
Okay,
mine.
so I'm just going to whip through
Yeah.
very quickly
I
because
have.
I know time's getting on. West Cam, I'm doing the south of Essex. Matt's doing the north. West Canby's had up to 20. West Canby RSPB reserve has had 21 white-fronted geese, which is good record for there. Vange, which is close by, has had water pipit. It's actually a good regular spot for water pipit down in the south of the county. Canby Point, long-tailed duck, on and off for the month. A couple of waxwings in Shoebury Ness down along the coast by Southend. Back on waxwings, 30 waxwings at Chigwell earlier in the month. Where we go now? Hatfield Forest has had a couple of hawfinches. There's still Bitten on and off in the Lee Valley. So that's well worth a visit. Wallasey Island. So we went there at the weekend, but there's been red-breasted goose on and off during the last couple of weeks. Obviously, there's hen harrier, shorted owl, spoonbill still there. There's also been red-breasted goose on the Dengie Peninsula, and probably the bird of the month, in fact, is the white-billed diver, which was seen on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of February, but not the 11th.
Yeah, guess when I went to see it, the 11th. Yeah.
Here at the 11th. Yeah. So and there's been long-tailed duck, shag, black-throated divers, great northern divers, guinea
Yep.
mops, and stuff off there. So the white-billed diver is by far the rarest bird in the county this month.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully it might be found again. I'm sure it hasn't gone very far.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Right, yeah, thanks, Steve. So very briefly, Copt Hall has had white-fronted geese, a couple of white-fronted geese. I know they're not rare, but there's not been many this year. They were around up until the 18th at least. We've got the 5 lesser score per Aberton. 2 velvet scoter was still seen until the 10th of February. Mersey Island also had a velvet scoter from the 11th till the 19th of Feb. Then at Aberton, Canvasback was possibly seen as late as the 13th. I don't think it's been seen since then. There's been 3 smew at Aberton through the month, including a smart drake that I haven't seen. I don't know if you have.
I've seen one, yeah, briefly, but
Yeah.
miles away back in January.
Yeah, okay. And then at the Naze, got long-tailed going to share a couple of pictures I'm talking. These isn't a duck from the Naze. This is actually David Curl's picture from, I think it was from Rolls Farm.
Nice.
But yeah, I just like that picture. He popped it on the on the EBS website, so I thought I'd share that. Slavonian grebe at Mersey, blackneck grebe at Aberton throughout the month. Also, Holland Haven, we've had the 6 purple sandpipers, as I mentioned. That's a really nice picture from Brian Combs of one of them.
Yeah.
There's been spotted redshank again. Not many this winter really, but there's been 4, I think, at Old Hall on the 12th. Also seen at Copt Hall and the Naze. And there's a picture here, a Liz Huxley picture of spotted redshank. I'm presuming this is one from Old Hall. I think I did make a note, but I can't remember. Can't find my piece of paper. Black-throated diver has been seen on and off at Aberton, still there at the moment. Great Northern divers have been seen at the Naze, Hanford Water, and there were 4 off of Mersey Island on the 7th. There's a Great Northern Diver picture from Brian Combs there, one at the Naze.
Nice.
And Guillemot on Mersey Island on the 11th of Feb. There's not been any records other than that, really, North
No,
Essex, I don't
it
think.
was strange year.
Hen Harriers through the month at Mersey, the Naze, Old Hall, Copt Hall, and Brightlingsea. Shorted Owl at Abberton and the Naze with 3 on the 11th. And obviously Merlin, there's been a few Merlin, Fingering Hoe, the Naze, and Mersey Island. And there's a nice picture from Zane Sargent of a Merlin just perched up there, as they do. They're lovely little birds. Finally, as Steve mentioned earlier, Holland Haven had a house martin, weirdly, very early. And there's, of course, various locations in and around Colchester which still hold waxwings up to 28 in the Beerchurch Stanway area. Snow buntings up to 6 on Mersey, as Steve mentioned earlier, but they may well have gone now. And I've got one more picture to show, which isn't a rare bird, but I just love this picture. It's brilliant. Look at that.
Oh, it's cracking.
Brian Combs' picture he took of a red-breasted merganser on the beach at the Naze. I just love the way it stood there. I've never seen a red-breasted merganser stood like that. So
You don't see them out of water very often, to be honest.
no. Look at its bright red feet. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, really lovely bird. And then finally, as he always does, Paul has sent in a summary, been pretty quiet actually. So he said, as expected, a quiet month so far at Frinton with meagre highlights. 403 cormorant on the 5th. A good day on the 7th with 202 red-throated and 1 Great Northern diver, plus an early fulmar, and 37 pintail going north, with another Great Northern diver offshore on the 10th. A very few early spring movers have comprised skylark, carrion crow, starling, chaffinch, with 4 stone chat yesterday on the 22nd. Hopefully we'll get some wind from the east-north-east in the next month. Stronger winds can produce good offshore movements of divers and gannets, while starling and chaffinch will be the main movers overland. And I've got a spoiler coming here. He's put there is a paper coming in EBR 2022 on the spring movement of the latter species, so that'll be chaffinch. With evidence suggests that the movement of these species might be visible on a broad front over Essex in spring. So it's well worth birders looking and listening out early mornings, particularly where there are no geographical features such as river valleys, hill ridges that can concentrate passage. So basically, yeah, wherever you are, if you've got geographical features that might be able to funnel the passage through, listen out for chaffinches. So yes, that'll be good.
Cool.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for that. And thanks again for everyone who's sending pictures and John for the video. It's all absolutely splendid. Right. I think we're done, aren't we?
You know what? We are. Do you know what? We've got three minutes to spare.
We have. Well, we've got to do the video. We're going to show the video. If I've done it, I've got to check to see if I've done it first. Hang on. If you talk for 3 minutes, anything in the feedback?
No, we're all clear, mate. We're all clear. So, but thanks to everyone that's put in the chat tonight and contributed to the show. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
We'll be back in March.
We will.
Not sure quite when. It'd be the end of March, because obviously we've got the conference going on. I'm away for a while, so. But we will be back, as Arnie said.
And hopefully we'll have a special guest or 2 or 3.
Yep.
Maybe. Right. Are we ready for the video?
Yep. So yeah.
Okay.
So thanks for watching, everybody.
Hold on. Let me just see if I can find
Hopefully Matt's got this all lined up professionally.
You would think so, wouldn't you? But hey ho, c'est la vie. Here we go. Right, I found it. Okay, yeah. So as Steve said, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks for everyone who's contributed. Don't forget to like us and give us thumbs up and all those sort of things. Come to the conference. Don't wait until the end of next month to see us. Come to the conference on the 23rd. There's still a few tickets left. info.ebws@gmail.com. Please send us an email. We'll tell you how you can take part and come along, or just buy some raffle tickets and win one of those amazing prizes, including a day out with Steve for 2 people. Hey, we've got a talk next Friday, as you know, Copt Hall and the Epping Forest area. So that's going to be really good with Peter Warren, and that's an indoor talk at Chelmsford. It's not going to be online; it's just indoors. So again, come along. Say hi to everyone, have a cup of coffee and a biscuit at half-time, bring a mug with you, and that's going to be a great talk as well. And we've got the photographic pop-up, so sign up to the mailing list. Make sure that you get the information. We're going to be doing that on the 3rd of March, weather permitting, in the morning, 2 or 3 hours in Chelmsford. Bring your cameras. I think it does need to be cameras only, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, really. Ideally, yeah.
So bring your camera along and we'll kind of show you how it all works. And if we don't know, we'll just make it up. So that'll be fine.
Yep. Same as usual, really.
Yeah, yeah. Hang on a minute. I'll just look at Google and answer that question. No, we'll explain the basics to you. Right, are we ready for the video?
Yeah. So yeah, good night, everybody, and thanks for everyone that's just commenting in the chat now, saying thanks for a great show. Much
Thanks very much.
appreciated.
So this lasts about 5 minutes. We're going to turn cameras off and say goodbyes now. This is all of the entries in the winter competition that's just gone. So thank you very much,
sorry,
everyone.
Matt, just 2 seconds. Could we just say hi to Graham Mee, because Graham Mee from Southend watches every month. He says, thanks, lads. He has to spend from 6:30 to 10:30 on dialysis on a Friday night.
Oh, wow.
And it's a wonderful way to spend 2 hours. So I hope it makes it a bit better for you, Graham. And we do appreciate you watching. Much appreciated.
Oh, yeah, that's hugely appreciated, Graham.
Yeah.
And obviously, Graham's, is he a group leader with the RSPB? Or
yeah, very much involved with the South Essex RSPB group. So yeah.
Keep up all the good work that you're doing, and thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
And thanks to everyone else that's just put in the chat. But just thought I'd get that in before we. Oh
no, thanks. That's brilliant. Yeah, thanks. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Right, goodbye. And we're going to play this video. Hopefully, hang on.
See you next month, everybody.
Can you see a blank screen?
I can see a blank screen.
Excellent. Right, cameras off, microphones off, and goodbye, everyone. See you next month.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next month. Good bird.